Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches: Houston Astros vs Kansas City Royals, Boston Red Sox vs New York Yankees, Baltimore Orioles vs Tampa Bay Rays, Los Angeles Angels vs Detroit Tigers, and Atlanta Braves vs Miami Marlins, which are happening on Wednesday, August 18, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Houston Astros vs Kansas City Royals. The Royals took the opening game of this series, but the fact remains that the team has fallen completely apart after their hot start to the season. Singer has been awful this season, which can be said about pretty much the entire Kansas City rotation outside of Mike Minor and the departed Danny Duffy. Houston is fighting to keep the AL West lead, and they are getting healthier after missing several key bats in the lineup. We saw the Astros put 6 runs on the board in the loss Monday night, and you have to think that Greinke is more than capable of shutting the door on his former team. For a first-place team like Houston, they have been a bit inconsistent this month considering how well they had played in both June and July. They finished June with a 19-9 record and then went 16-8 in July, but have compiled an uncharacteristic 6-7 record so far in August, including a current 3-game losing streak. Their mediocre play this month has dropped them in the offensive rankings a tiny bit, albeit one spot, as they're now second overall in runs scored per 9 innings, 5.39, and ops, 0.777, although they still have the best team batting average, 0.266. My betting advice for that game is to pick Houston Astros. Boston Red Sox vs New York Yankees. New York enters as one of the hottest teams in baseball and is carrying all the momentum and confidence that series has to offer. Tuesday's doubleheader took the wind out of Boston's sails, and after the bullpen not only contributed innings but struggled in doing so, it'll be interesting to see how they respond. New York has the hottest hitters between the two teams in Judge, and with the game at Yankee Stadium, there's no doubt that the New York lineup will be looking to take advantage of the short porch out in right field, especially with Gallo's ability to pull the ball. Nick Pivetta held the Orioles to 1 run in 6 innings and struck out 8 in a win Friday in his last appearance. Pivetta has been sharp in consecutive outings for the first time since April. The win tonight moved him to 9-5 with a 4.20 ERA through 23 starts. He tossed 6 innings of shutout ball 2 starts ago against the Blue Jays, so he's coming along. This will be his first ever start against the Yankees. While the agony of defeat was in full effect for Boston on Tuesday, the joys of a doubleheader sweep could be felt all throughout the Yankee fanbase. After a season filled with ups and downs, the Yankees can feel the season coming back into their control. They know though that with how tight the AL East and wild card races are, the job is far from finished. New York continues to battle injuries though, as Clint Frazier, Anthony Rizzo, COVID, Gleyber Torres, thumb, and Gio Urshela, hamstring, all remain out. Add that to injuries that have riddled the pitching staff, and it's quite remarkable to see New York still battling strong in the playoff race. My betting advice for that game is to pick New York Yankees. Baltimore Orioles vs Tampa Bay Rays. This is a lot of juice to lay, but there's really no justification for taking the Orioles at this point, as each loss during the 13-game skid has come by multiple runs. Baltimore has been bad all year and is now playing its worst baseball of the season, with no indication that its pitching staff can handle a great team like the Rays. After looking good for a few starts, Watkins has fallen off over his last 4 outings, with an 8.24 ERA, including getting hammered for 5 runs by these Rays on August 7th. That's not to mention the Baltimore bullpen, which is in an absolute spiral, and this Tampa Bay lineup that has a 106 WRC+ to rank just outside the top 5 in the majors is good enough to take advantage. My betting advice for that game is to pick Tampa Bay Rays. Los Angeles Angels vs Detroit Tigers. As amazing as Ohtani is, he is not getting a lot of support in any facet right now, and the Tigers have been a better team than the Angels for a number of weeks now. Skubal is a capable enough pitcher himself, and the Angels should not be this big of a favorite with how much they are struggling to score runs right now. The stuff has always been there for Skubal as he's run impressive strikeout rate throughout his career, and he finally seems to be harnessing that with a 3.94 ERA over his last 15 outings. Detroit isn't easy to beat when Skubal is on the mound right now, as the lineup has been strong since the start of June, with a 104 WRC+, leading to the team going well over .500 overall. Shohei Ohtani yielded 2 runs over 6 innings on Thursday in a win over the Blue Jays. Ohtani recorded 6 strikeouts and also issued 3 walks. He gave up only 3 hits, as a Teoscar Hernandez RBI single and RBI double from Randal Grichuk in the 4th inning represented the only damage against him. The 27-year-old two-way sensation has allowed just 6 runs on 20 hits, with an impressive 29/4 KBB ratio across 32 innings over 5 starts since July 6. He's compiled a stellar 2.93 ERA, 1.09 WHIP, and 112/39 KBB ratio across 92 innings, 17 starts this season. After nearly reaching .500 for the first time since late April last weekend, the Tigers have hit a small rough patch as they lost Tuesday's series opener against Los Angeles. Jonathan Schoop got Detroit on the board with an RBI single in the 3rd before Robbie Grossman tied the score in the 5th with a run-scoring single, but that would be it as the offense stranded 9 men on base. Rookie starter Casey Mize struggling with control, lasting just 4 innings while giving up 2 runs on 4 hits and 4 walks while striking out 4. Closer Gregory Soto melted down in the 9th, allowing 5 earned runs while getting just 2 outs. Grayson Greiner went 2-3 with a double and 2 runs scored to pace the offense. My betting advice for that game is to pick Detroit Tigers. Atlanta Braves vs Miami Marlins. This isn't exactly the best of spots to be hoping for a Jesus Luzardo turnaround game. The young lefty has been getting his pitches knocked around on the mound, regardless of what uniform he's been wearing this season. The wood was cracking against him in Oakland, and that has continued to be the case in Miami as well. He has given up a combined 12 runs in his last 2 outings. That doesn't bode well when facing a Braves team capable of pouring it on the scoreboard. The big hits accompany a .756 ops in Atlanta this season. Luzardo couldn't even ice the struggling Cubs in his last outing. So it's a stretch to think he's just going to walk right onto the mound and find success against this Braves team. The Braves took the first 2 games of this series, including a 2-0 win over the Marlins Tuesday. Chris Martin got the win in relief, while Austin Riley and Freddie Freeman had 2 hits each. Riley hit a home run. The Braves improved to 64-56. Charlie Morton gets the start for the Braves on Wednesday. Morton is 11-4 on the season with an ERA of 3.49. Morton got a win in his last outing, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits in 6 innings in a 4-2 win over the Nationals. The right-hander had 7 strikeouts and 2 walks in the game. The Braves are 13th in team ERA and 14th in team WHIP. They are 9th in runs scored, 3rd in home runs and 13th in team batting average. My betting advice for that game is to pick Atlanta Braves minus 1.5. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.